Hello, all of you. Welcome to the third class for the introduction. I call it introduction only, but we are doing something very important, very basic. You all must be having idea of the fundamental accounting assumptions, the accounting concepts, and the principles. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Many times these are asked in true and false in short note. And this is something like very basic. The moment you get up from your bed, okay, and you start your day, so you do your prayer and you brush your teeth and do your daily activities, have your breakfast, and then you start for your college or your studies or your articleship or your job. Yes or no? So this is a daily ritual. This is so much inbuilt कि नींद में से भी कोई उठाए तो okay, we'll go to the washroom, do the brush, right or not? So that is how the very basic of the accounts is accounting concepts and conventions. This is like inbuilt, inherent. If they are not followed, then you need to report in your financial statements. Just after half an hour, 45, when we start with this one by one, you say, yes, ma'am, this we are already doing. So today's classes already you have heard it, but I'll give you a very nice example so that when they ask you for true and false or write a short note, you are able to do it. Still, if you have any doubt in the term where I am explaining, ask me. Okay. And of course, I have given some homework also to all of you. We'll surely check that also and give you some interesting homework today also. All right. Chalo. Let us start now. Okay. Here we go by with the chapter number. Yeah, in your books actually before this is the terminology and all that we will discuss gradually. Okay. Right now we are doing unit 2. Okay. I hope all of you have gone through unit 1 which we have completed in the first 2 classes. Okay. This is your unit 2. Accounting concepts, principles and conventions. Now, in the first unit, we have seen what are the advantages of accounting, what are the disadvantages, limitations, and all. Okay. Now, let us start with the accounting concepts, principles, and conventions. Now, there are 10 accounting concepts which are very important. Those who have done 11th and 12th, they will feel, ma'am, this is something very basic. We have been taught in 11th, 12th. Why we are doing it in foundation? So something very important and very relevant till final. You know, for example, one of the accounting concepts is going concern. So as you close your books on 31st March, salary to outstanding salary, you're very sure business is going to continue. Next year, outstanding salary to bank, you are going to pay. So going concern is like accounting concepts, basic, fundamental. Like that business entity. When I pay, say, salary to my staff, I write salary to bank because this is my business expense. Now, if I am paying salary to my cook at my home from my business checkbook, suppose, but that worker is working at my home, watchman or cook or anyone, then what will I write? Drawings to bank. Now, why there is a shift? Here salary debit, here drawings debit. Why there is a shift? Business entity concept. So I know that if I explain the concept, you will understand. Today, I want to enjoy it as if I give you examples, will you be able to make it? The konsa concept hai? I hope you are getting. So this is a business entity concept. It says that your business related expense should be put in your expenditure and your all the others should be put in your drawings. Drawings is your personal expense and all. So if I'm paying a salary to the watchman at the home, it is not my business related expense. Now what am I discussing? Business entity concept. Like that accrual, matching, historical cost, dual aspect. Okay? Right. Ready to go? Anyone is having any doubt? Ask please. If all clear, at least put me message C for all clear. Then we will go on now to the basics. Like what do you mean by this term? Accounting concepts define assumptions on the basis of which financial statement of a business entity are prepared. I hope you are getting. See, what I'm discussing is very much important. This is something which, can you go directly, get up and go to your office? No, you will say, ma'am, it is so much necessary to brush our teeth, to take our breakfast, to take bath, dress up well and go. We can't go to our office in the night dress. So how important is the daily ritual, which no one needs to say, but we are doing. That's the same way, however higher level of accounting you are doing, amalgamation, demerger, holding, subsidiary, jo karna hai karo. But these are something very basics which go in, they are just imbibed in the accounting. So what do you mean by the concepts? It defines assumptions on the basis of which financial statement of a business entity are prepared. Okay? Right, just give me 2 seconds. Huh? So they say, yeah, it defines assumptions on the basis of which financial statement of business entity are prepared. Okay? Certain concepts are perceived, assumed, and all. So that's fine. Now, what do you mean by accounting principles? Are the body of doctrines commonly associated with theory and procedure of accounting as an explanation of current practices and as a guide for selection of the conventions and procedures. So accounting principles are like fundamental. They will help you to decide ki kya karna hai. Okay. So accounting principles should be based on the real assumptions. Okay. They should be, excuse me, simple to understand. They should be followed consistently. You need to follow these accounting principles consistently. You can't change, okay, this year SLM, next year WDV, ma'am, इस बार ऐसे भी loss है. We will not charge depreciation. No. The fundamental concept of the accounting is you need to follow things consistently. Then you can compare your result with last year. You can compare your result with competitors, with the industry, provided you are doing things consistently. They should be able to reflect future predictions. They should be informational to the users. These are the qualities. Principles kaise hone chahiye? Okay, for my concern, these are the principles I follow. For your concern, little bit difference may be there because I am dealing into softwares, you are dealing into inventory and trading. But at base level, the concepts should be simple. Agreed that they are based on certain assumptions, but realistic. They should be understandable. They should be followed consistently, right? They should be able to reflect future predictions, and they should be informational. They should give information to the users. Okay, right. Accounting conventions emerge out of accounting practices commonly known as principles. Okay, over the period, people have developed these concepts. These conventions are derived by usage and practice. It is, we say, array, this is the tradition that at least the first thing we get up and we should pray. The first thing, so there are certain principles of life we follow it customarily, traditionally. Same way, certain fundamental concepts of accounts, which are like customary, traditionally, they are to be followed. Accounting conventions need not have universal application. True. So accounting concepts, principles, and conventions have been discussed. Let us see how they are practically used. Shall we go for the first one? Okay. And I want all of you to write in your running notebook the name of the concept and the example which I am giving. So for business entity concept, I am giving you this example. You write it in your notebook. 1 minute. I'll open the Second. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen? Yeah, I'll discuss all this homework. पहले ये पढ़ते हैं. First concept we are doing is business entity concept. Write down in your running notebook. Business entity concept. They say business. I hope all of you know what is the meaning of an entity. An organization, proprietorship, partnership, HUF, company, LLP, कोई भी. So they say business entity is separate and the owner is separate. That is why if you pay salary to staff, I want you to write this example as I am writing. Salary to staff. How do you write the entry? Salary account debit to cash. And then suppose the owner is paying salary to house staff. Watchman and cook and servant, if you're paying, then what will you write? Drawings account debit to cash. Money is going out of the firm. If you're paying your son's school fees, if you're paying your wife's traveling expense, they are your personal expense. So this concept says, keep the business and the personal separate. Listen, this is so beautiful. Understand it in a very broader way. If we don't do this, then how am I going to put my expense? Business related income and expense. If I put, I get net profit. Now, if I put my weekend restaurant and amusement park, I visited that expense, and my spouse shopping expense and all. If I put all expense together, all income, then how am I going to bifurcate? You all got it or not? So they say business entity concept is that business as an entity, keep it separate. Business related receipts hai to we take it as income. Personal receipts hai to we take it as capital receipts. So they say business is separate and the personal expenses, income, receipts and all are separate. Write it down. Write down this concept. If you have any doubt, keep putting your doubts in the chat box. Very interesting. Today's class may be over in 1 hour. Okay, if you follow, if you have any doubt, ask. But ये बड़े simple concepts हैं. Business entity concept. Done? Finished writing? Now let us read this in the concept book. Okay, right. It states that business enterprise is separate. Accountant should treat business as distinct from the owner. Underlining this. Business is separate and owner is separate. Business transactions are recorded in books and owner's transactions are recorded in personal book. You give 30,000 to your spouse, chalo ye ghar chalane ke liye, she'll maintain her own accounts. Vegetable, milkman, this, that. The practice of distinguish between business and personal affairs is double entry. This concept in keeping affairs keeps the business free from personal influences. We want to know how much we have earned for business, then business related income and expense only we should record. This basic concept is applied to organization, whether sole proprietorship and all. Entity concept means that enterprise is liable to the owner for capital investment. Since owner invested capital, which is called risk capital, he claims on the profit. A portion of profit, which is a portion to owner, that is added, to his capital, right or not? But if there are personal expenses, by the proprietor, by the partner, by the director, they are not debited in business, they are debited person. So I hope that's very easy and very clear. Yes. You can unmute and ask your doubts, please. And if everything is clear, at least put me some message, C for clear. आ गया समझ में? Okay, great. All clear, ma'am. Fine. So business entity concept is what? Business is separate and your personal entity concept. The business entity is separate and your personal transactions are separate. Even if personal transactions are routed through business, treat it and debit it as drawings and not as expense. Done. Next, now we will go to next one. Money measurement concept. This is given in the basic definition of accounting. Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, summarizing transactions which are in monetary terms. Some very basic feature of accounting is that the transaction you can record in accounts only if it is measurable. So no value term transactions are recorded. So money measurement concept says that all the transactions to be recorded in the accounts should be measurable. You should be able to put the money value terms in that. As per this concept, only those transactions which cannot be measured in the terms of money are recorded. Since money is the medium of exchange and the standard, this concept requires that those transactions alone are capable of being measured in terms of money should be recorded in books. Transactions which can be expressed in money terms are only recorded in books. Clear to all of you? Transactions, even if they affect the result of business materially, are not recorded if they are not convertible into money terms. I'm telling you, I have an employed worker whom I'm paying 10,000 per month. But I thought, but he's more smart and he's working so diligently and such a super that because of him, I'm earning 35,000. Yeah, because of that worker, of course, it's my brand and all, but still. So now, can I put all this in money terms? Money terms mein kya aayega? Salary to bank, 10,000 rupees. So there are no value-based transactions which are recorded in books. Only those transactions which can be recorded in books, which can be expressed in money terms. Transactions, even if they affect the result of business, are not recorded if they are not convertible into monetary terms. It's a very easy topic. Transactions and events that cannot be expressed in terms of money, okay, are not recorded in business books. For example, employees of organization, no doubt, a set of organization, but their measurement in monetary terms is not possible, no. I'm using this camera and laptop. I've already invested more than 1 lakh. But suppose it is giving such a worth that I can make 10 lakhs out of it. So do I put my laptops and cameras value 10 lakh? No, no. Again, one more concept we can link with this. Historical cost. How much money I have put in? 1 lakh. I should record 1 lakh. Got it? So, transactions, even if they affect the result of business materially, are not recorded. They are not convertible into monetary terms. Transactions and events that cannot be expressed are not recorded. For example, this employee related measuring unit for the money is the currency, obviously. Yeah. And the rule of the currency provides common, okay, whatever currency you're maintaining, you will record. Monetary unit through an unrealistic category remains indispensable tool of accounting. The monetary unit, though an inelastic yardstick. Now, they are saying in this last time that this is a limitation. If you remember in limitation, we have seen that only transactions which can be put value in money terms are recorded in books. So that's all for money measurement. 2 minutes, I'll be back. Just give me 2 minutes. You can revise the money measurement concept. ये 10 concepts को पढ़ के समझ के keep it. If they get a short note or if they ask you in true and false, you should be able to answer. And they will not ask you, please give an example or explain. Generally, they are giving a case and they are asking you to decide which accounting concept is useful. Okay. Okay, let us continue. Is this a very basic theory you all are following? What is business entity concept? Business is separate and the business related and personal expenses separate. Money measurement concept says only transactions which are expressed in money terms should be recorded. Okay. Third, now we are going to periodicity concept. Super. What did I say? What is the financial year? 1st April to 31st March. What is the calendar year? January to December. So this says that financial books of accounts are generally for 12 months. 12 months ke liye you will record. So periodicity concept says salary to bank, rent to bank, all that depreciation, you will always charge it generally for 12 months. So this is called the concept of definite accounting period. See, if accounting period is consistent March to April, March, then you can compare. Oh, last year your turnover was 60 lakhs. This time it is 86 lakhs. Oh, there's an increase in the turnover. You got it or not? Huh? So as per the going concern concept, an indefinite life of entity is assumed. For business entity, it causes inconvenience to measure performance achieved by entity. If a textile mill lasts for 100 years, it is not desirable to measure its performance at the end of the life. I hope you are getting. You can't say that, okay, this time let it be, I am feeling a little bored to close my books in March. I'll do it in June. I'll prepare 15 months accounts. No. Periodicity concept says you have to record 12 months as a base period. Of course, 12 months will change, dear students, in case if you have started a new business, say on 1st August. So 1st August to 31st March. In case you close your business in 31st Jan. So April to Jan, fine. But otherwise, periodicity concept says you have to record 12 months transactions only. That's why we have the concept of outstanding and prepaid. Yes or no? So generally 1 year's period is taken, but sometimes you may take different. Let us take this example. Suppose you have purchased a vehicle on 1st February. So whenever you purchase vehicle, building, all this, you pay insurance annual. Now this term annual means 12 months, 1 to 12 months. Okay. So annual insurance premium for the 12 months you are paying. Okay. So you purchased it in February. Now in between there is a cutoff, 31st March. So you paid on February, 1,50,000 is the value of your bike into 10%, 10,000 premium. So insurance premium debit to bank. That's the journal entry. 10,000 rupees if you put in expense in February, it is wrong. Because this benefit is going on from February to next January. So how much you should put till March? Only 2 months, February and March. 10,000 into 2 by 12. 166 months you should put it in the March, and remaining 8333 you are treating as prepaid insurance. I will teach you these. Don't go into the calculations and journal entry in detail. I will teach you outstanding and prepaid in the final accounts of the proprietorship. We'll study it very nicely, superbly we will study it. But as we are doing it now over here, just to explain you the concept, Even if you paid in February, your cutoff is March. 2 months you have put it now, and remaining 10 months you are taking it as prepaid insurance as your current assets, debit, and 10 months, and 2 months you are putting it in expense. Now, when you are doing this means you are assuming a periodicity concept. No, my cutoff is my 12 months are over on 31st of March. So that's all for periodicity concept. We'll read down the line what they say. The concept should be prepared after every period and not at the end of the life of entity. So performance appraisal, your net profit, your balance sheet, you always do it for 12 months. Okay, right? Thus, periodicity concept facilitates in comparison of the financial statements, uniform and consistent accounting treatment, matching periodic revenue with the expense. है ना? सब ठीक है एकदम? I hope you are getting. See, if you don't follow periodicity concept of 12 months, how are you going to compare your accounts? And there won't be any consistency. Matching comparison of revenue. If you are taking sales of 12 months, you have to take the expense of 12 months. Now, if you say, ma'am, expense we have put only for 11 months because we have paid 11 months. So 12 months you do expense to outstanding, but dalo, so that the period related expense and income will come. See, these all concepts are also overlapping. How many concepts are over now? Yes. Yes. Business entity concept. Very good. Next. Periodicity concept. Next. Money measurement concept. Clear to all of you? Right? Okay. Chalo. Next, now we will go. See, this example is very important for you to clear. If it is not clear, put me a message. Any term, any bit is not clear. Next, now we will watch is accrual concept. Super. Accrual and matching concept, I can't say inter में भी इतने ज़्यादा use होते हैं. So first we will do matching, then I'll go reverse to the accrual concept. Matching principle says your expense and income for the year should match. Listen to my dialogue. They say even the accrual concept says expense for 12 months should be recorded whether paid or not. So if you have paid, write down salary to cash, 11 rupees. Ma'am, 1 rupee salary I didn't pay because my worker is out of station. He will come next 4th and take. Okay, at least write salary to outstanding salary, 1 rupee. And suppose another of my staff members, say Nitya, she has taken 15 rupees advance. Then I don't debit to salary because that 15-month salary has not accrued now. So that will be treated as advance. So, you know how we analyze the transaction based on the accrual and matching concept. One more example. Accrual concept says that expense and income for 12 months should be recorded in the books, whether paid or not, whether received or not. Okay? Right? Okay, great. Some of you have joined late, but okay, so sweet of you that at least you are giving some reason. I hope you are following the class from where we are taking. That shows your commitment that at foundation classes, if you are so committed, you are definitely going to take it ahead superbly well. And it's not that, you know, when I teach inter and finance students, there are 2 minutes out of the way, but I say this is the reason why 50% of the students drop out after inter. 50 भी नहीं उससे ज़्यादा, and so many students they drop out after writing one group of the final because that consistently that discipline is not there. So if you are seeing yourself with the name tagline CA लगना है नाम के आगे effort डालना है तो you need the commitment. Okay, so great to see you all. with a valid reason. If you have joined late, it's absolutely okay. Chalo. Accrual ke liye we'll go to our notebook and we'll write something. Huh? All of you go to your notebook. I made you write business entity concept. You know why it is important? Ma'am, you have already given the notes. We will read it. Why is it important to at least write few lines about it? क्यों जरूरी है? That flow in the language should come. So write down the second concept as money measurement concept. Money measurement concept. Accounting transaction which can be accounting transaction which can be recorded in monetary terms. Accounting transactions which can be recorded in monetary terms are only recorded in books. This is money measurement. If you cannot measure a transaction in money, like your employee worked 1 hour extra, we tried to give him bonus, he didn't take, and in just a thank you and gratitude, he worked 1 hour extra. How do I record this transaction in books? Money measurement to hai nahi, so I'm not going to record it, right? The third one which we did was periodicity concepts. Write down. Periodicity concept. The financial year, ऐसे लिखो, जैसे मैं लिखा रही हूं ऐसे लिखो. 1st April to 31st March. The financial year, 1st April to 31st March, or the calendar year, January to December. In India, we are following financial year only for income tax. But in accounting books, they may give you June year ending, December year ending, anything. So CY means calendar year. You all please write full form. Financial year is April to March. Calendar year is January to. Periodicity concept says that same 12 months period should be followed consistently. Same 12 months period should be followed consistently to record transactions. Same 12 months, January to December should be followed consistently to record transactions so as to help comparability. Both intra-firm and inter-firm. What is intra-firm? Within the firm. My year ending 2020's result I want to compare with 19, 18, 17. That is intra-firm. Or inter-firm. Can I compare my result with others? Yes. So periodicity concept says that you maintain the accounts, sub, sale, purchase, asset, bank, everything for 12 months. I know the business goes on and on, but you can't say, "Arey, 1 saal kya, 2 saal jane do, 1 saal hi profit nikal lenge." No, not like that. That is periodicity concept. The next two, they go hand in hand, accrual and matching. Okay? Yeah, accrual concept, right now. accrual concept. Accrual concept when you get, and listen dear students, you all are learning this in foundation with the practical way. This same is there again in CA Inter in your accounting standard, and this same is there in your auditing also. And same little advanced version you will be doing in income tax also. Some standards are there called as ICTs. So you need to have that language command. Whenever I say accrual concept, what do you mean? You know, accrual means which has accrued but paid or not, received or not. Then just write the language what I am saying. Expenses and income for the year should be recorded. Expenses and income for the year write down please. You may be feeling, ma'am, we have notes, we don't want to write. Then the pen will not flow in exam. You need to write nice language. These are asked in interview also. Basic internship के interview के लिए जाते हैं और पूछते हैं. Okay, what do you mean by accrual concept? You have to say, sir, expenses and income for the year should be recorded whether they are paid or not, received or not. Paid or not, received or not. है ना? Write down this example. Write down this example. Like expense. Salary to cash. 11 months salary you have paid till February. March month salary, for some reason, you are going to pay it in the month of April. So what? On 31st of March, can you pass the entry salary account debit to outstanding salary and create a liability? Salary debit to outstanding salary and create a liability. Nice, clear to all of you? So ma'am, we have been taught this in 11, 12, but do you know the reason behind? अब ना आगे पीछे ऊपर नीचे back rubric की तरह घुमा लेना है. Why you are doing? Salary to cash you have paid till February. March का salary, if you pay in April, record in April. Why do you want to record it in March? So that 12 months expense. You know, the very next one, matching. How will you match your expense and income? And accrual. March month salary is paid in April, fine. But is it accruing now? Answer is yes. Then record it same way. Suppose I have investment. Write down this example to make this as example. Please write down so that after 2 months before exam when you refer, orally तो पूरे examples मेरे dialogues याद नहीं आएंगे तो लिख लो. Example 2. Suppose I have investment of 1 lakh rupees in debentures at the rate of 10% interest on 1st January. Okay. Now 30th of September company gave interest. Say 9 months interest. So 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000. 9 by 12 comes to how much? 7,500. What will be the entry? Interest account debit to bank. Everyone in the, oh sorry. We are not paying, we are to receiving the income on investment. Bank account debit, money is coming in and interest credit. कोई doubt किसी को? Bank account debit and interest credit. And remaining interest didn't come. This was the interest for 9 months. I think it's correct. Let us calculate also. 1 lakh. Okay, very quick. You're saying it's correct. Fine. So now, bank account debit to interest 7,000. 500. Done. Now remaining 3 months interest, even if you don't receive on December, can you pass the entry? Accrued interest account debit to interest. Accrued interest account debit to interest. Can you record that entry? So by this way, what will happen? Accrual. 10,000 income has accrued? No. 1 lakh rupees debentures you have invested. 10%, 10,000 income has accrued. So 10,000 should go in income. Bank may, if you have received 7,500, this accrued interest is receivable. You can write here CA. This will go into current asset. Ma'am, you are to exactly teaching on these accounting. So the base of this accounting is what? Accrual concept. Expense for the year should be recorded whether paid or not. I don't know how much I'm correlating right now, non-trading and final accounts of proprietary or later chapters. Without this base, you will not understand. Ma'am, yeah, I remember bank to interest, so I have passed, I missed passing. So you have to pass this entry. 2,500 is income, take it in income. You didn't receive, don't debit in the bank, debit in the income receivable or accrued or outstanding and so on. So third concept, accrual concept. Fourth concept is what? Can you please respond in the chat? Are you comfortable writing what I am giving? Notes. Of course, I am reading word to word theory also. And this is there with all of you, this material. So, पढ़ना है आपको. Matching concept. What is matching concept? Expense and income for the year should be matched and recorded. Matched and recorded. For example, if I am writing 12 months sales, 12 months sales as 12,000, then I have to write expenses also for 12 months. Otherwise, how am I going to compare and get the profit? If I write income and sales for 12 months and expense only for 11 months because I didn't pay the 12 months, and if I don't do accrual, how am I going to compare my results? If I write expenses and income for 12 months, then I'm going to get the net profit also for 12 months. So matching concept says your income and your expense should match. They should match. Tabhi you can compare, no? You can't say 12 months ka sale to likh do because we have filed GST return. Expenses dekhenge na baad mein, we will put it little later and all. No. Finished writing? Huh. Now look at the screen. Matching concept. All expenses with the revenue of that period should only take into consideration. If you have recorded 12 months income, 12 months expense, you have to record. If you have paid expense to bank, if you have not paid expense to outstanding, if you have paid for 15 months, 3 months, reverse it, nikal do, prepaid expense to bank expense. I hope you are getting. The matching concept says your income and expense should match. In the financial statement of organization, if any revenue is recognized, then expenses to earn that should also be recognized. This concept is based on accrual concept. That's why I'm saying link up the accrual and matching. You can put an arrow mark in the notebook also the way I have done. This leads to adjustment of certain items, outstanding, prepaid and all. Next one is like superb. There is a standard on auditing for going concern. There's a chapter. So much of importance is given to the going concern. When you prepare a financial year, you close the books, you hold AGM, you give the results to your shareholders, and then again it goes on. So what is happening? That going concern says Any business is present doing the accounting, presenting the result as if it's a going concern. It is going to continue. Suppose I give you an exception to the rule. Going concern ka meaning I am giving you. 1 second. Yeah, look at this. Going concern is firm is going to go on. नाम से ही पता चल रहा है ना. Going concern. The business entity or firm. Firm नहीं बोलेंगे, entity. The entity has no intention of closure. I'll give you an example. 31st March 21. Financial year ending. पहले समझ लो. I'll give you time to time. Okay. 10th of April 21, there is a fire. 100% plant and machinery is destroyed. बहुत major fire हुआ factory में. बहुत plant and machinery जल गया. अब वो insurance से when you will get the claim and revive your business, you are deciding to close the business. Suppose on 30 June 21, you are holding the AGM. Can you say to shareholders, no, we are presenting the accounts of 31st March, no? All, rosy things are, this is good, that is good. No. You have to make them clear that though we are presenting in the AGM the financial books of 31st March, but there was a fire on 10th of April. And major books are, the machinery and all is destroyed. And we may soon hold a meeting to liquidate the company and close. So you need to tell the actual facts. That's why in accounts, this word disclosure is very important. So going concern, what am I teaching, please? I hope you're not ज़्यादा घुसना नहीं हो रहा. सुनो क्या पढ़ रहे हैं हम? Concepts which you are following. So do you go to your classroom and say, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I brushed my teeth. I had my breakfast. Assumed. Every student is coming in a class. Even though this is online class, assume you are sitting on a table chair, very alert, very fresh, so that you take 100% things in. Right or not? So, this is like very fundamental. Same way, when business accounts are prepared, the shareholders, the bankers, the debtors, the creditors, the government, every user is assumed that it's a going concern. Firm is going to go on the business. If going concern is disturbed, you need to inform the users. Inform on 30 June, inform users of going concern not followed. If it is followed, don't shout and say, we are following going concern, we are following going, we are, arey, theek hai. I had my breakfast, I hope you are enjoying this example. Huh? But when the man says, good morning, how are you? Hope you all had a nice weekend. So one in the class is saying, ma'am, little dull because last 2 days I did fasting. Then you are saying, see, I hope my examples are helping you. Ma'am, we are already applying all these concepts and conventions. It's like इतने inbuilt है कि हम apply कर रहे हैं तो पता भी नहीं चलता है. Okay? Write down, and 2 minutes after writing this, you can also take your eyes off screen. Exactly look at the watch, and 2 minutes we will be back to continue this. We will finish off all the accounting concepts and conventions today. ये going concern लिख लो. Any doubt? Okay, so what we have completed is going concern. Now let us read the theory for that. It's very interesting. They say that the financial statements are normally prepared on the assumption, it's assumed that an enterprise is going concern and it will continue its operation. Hence, it is assumed that enterprise has neither the intention nor the need to liquidate. Okay. If such intention or need exists, then you have to inform and disclose. The next concept is cost concept. This is also called as historical cost concept. They say that all the items should be recorded at its cost. Suppose I have purchased a land for my business and I have paid 5 lakh, but this land is so good, I will be doing so much of production and sales through this land. And next to this land, if the metro project starts, no, my land value will go up to 15 lakhs. So just because I assume that the market value goes up to 15 lakhs, can I record my business transactions at the fair market value? Answer is no. You have to record it at cost. So they say that assets value should be recorded at its historical cost. Cost of acquisition. Although various bases and others are there, when machine is acquired for 5 lakh, it is highly objective and free from all the bias. Other measures are objective, so current cost of item is immaterial. I hope you are getting. Once you purchase the asset for 5 lakhs, the value worth for you is 50 lakhs or 50,000 is immaterial. Record it at the cost of the purchase. However, cost concepts create a lot of distortion in an inflationary situation where the prices are going up, land and all. So, this is very beautiful example. Land kharida 5 lakhs mein. Now, if the value is 50 lakhs, Dipti ma'am has taught, no, you have to record it at 5 lakhs. Are you actually not making a secret reserve of 45 lakhs? Only the management knows that ye land, if we sell this land, we will get 50 lakhs. The book value is 5 lakhs. So what is happening, in historical cost, sometimes we are losing sight of the actual situations. So it may show secret reserve. Historical cost may lose comparability, and many assets do not have the acquisition cost. And it's very you can say inbuilt goodwill, self-generated goodwill of the business. Over the period, I have made a brand name. There's a goodwill of concept classes. Now, if I say put it in money terms, what is the value of my goodwill brand name? Last 20 years have been doing this. So, kya hai? Nahi malum. So, the cost concept says that things should be recorded at cost. Okay. Next is realization concept. It closely follows the cost concept. जैसे accrual और matching साथ में है, cost and realization. Any change in the value of asset is to be recorded only when business realizes it. When an asset is recorded at 5 lakhs, even if the current value is 15 lakhs, don't bring it at 15 lakhs. The reason is you are not buying the asset with the intention of selling. You are going to hold it for your business purpose. So even though 5 lakhs value has become now 15 lakhs, don't record it. Record it at 5 lakhs. When you actually sell it, that time you can record. I hope you are getting. Realization concept says change the value of the investments. So many people face this practical issues with investment. I purchased the shares of Reliance Industries के shares. मैंने खरीदे say ₹1,000 per share. Now on 31st March, the value was 1,800. Can I record it at 1,800 and book a profit of 800? No, because I have not sold it. Maybe on 10th of April, when I decide to sell, the price may be 700 or price may be 1,700. So in short, assets and all recorded at its cost, realizable value, you record it only when you realize your assets or investment. Yeah, right? But in this very important role comes for the conservatism or prudence principle. They say probable losses is there, you should record it. Like I hope all of you are aware about the fraud that happened in Satyam. If not, This is a very important and relevant practical homework for you related to your CA studies, accounts, auditing and all. Just click in Google and check what went wrong in Satyam. So suppose you have purchased Satyam's Satyam company shares in 1300. Now after the Satyam's fraud was opened up and the directors of the company were put up in jail and all, the share price went down to 30 rupees. Now we know that 30, then Tech Mahindra took over the Satyam company. So the share may be 130, 140, but it's never going to reach 1300 because that company was a fraud and it is closed. So then you can you say, Dipti ma'am has said, nahi, record at historical cost. So sometimes you need to bring it to the market value if there is a permanent decline. But no, profit you will not record unless you use prudence principle. We anticipated all the losses, but we never anticipate the gain. So I hope these examples, what I'm giving, are clear for the cost concept, for the realization concept. You want me to give you this in notes also, or is it okay if you're following? We can continue. Just respond in chat. Next is dual concept. Dual concept, double entry concept. For every debit, there is a credit. Then only the transaction is saved in the books. Yes or no? For every debit, there is a credit. So if you purchase an asset to bank. If you do an expense to bank. So this concept is the core of double entry. Every transaction is having this dual aspect concept. It increases one asset and decreases other assets. Okay? It increases an asset and simultaneously decreases a liability. This concept I will explain. I hope all of you know assets minus liabilities is equity or capital. Asset कम होता है तो liability बढ़ती है या capital बढ़ेगा and so on. Right. We'll solve accounting equation questions in the next class. Next concept is conservatism. I already explained it with realization. These all the concepts are overlapping. Conservatism, the literal meaning of this word is, you know what? Narrow-minded. Conservative, you know, we say very traditional hai ye log, bahut hi narrow-minded. They say you anticipate all the losses and make a provision for that. Don't anticipate income. So the accountant should not anticipate income and should provide for all the possible losses. There are many alternative values of an asset and all. Realization concept says that you anticipate. Realization concept also states that no change should be made unless, but conservatism concept puts a break on it. It says that, yeah. So conservatism says कि you can't say, ma'am, अभी loss हुआ तो नहीं है ना, जब होगा देख लेंगे सप्टेम्बर में. But if it is a permanent decline, you have to record it. Okay? So there should be 3 qualitative characteristics of financial statement. Prudence. It should make provision for all the future losses. Neutrality, unbiased attitude should be there in the financial statement. And faithful representation. People who are watching it, okay, company has earned this much profit loss, they should get correct figures. So if there's a permanent decline or permanent loss in the value of the assets due to flood, natural calamity, or some fraud like this, you should record it in the books. That's what is said by conservatism. Okay? Next is consistency. Yes. Consistency is a beautiful word. It's not only fundamental like a concept, it is the fundamental accounting assumption. Whatever you follow consistently. If you are following WDV, every year you follow WDV. No, this year WDV, next year SLM. Then the impact it will have on your profit is not because of genuine increase or decrease in profit. Profit may fluctuate because you are not following the methods consistently. Kabhi FIFO, kabhi LIFO. Sometimes you're doing provision for data, sometimes you're not doing, and so on. So consistency says that in order to achieve comparability, you need to follow accounting follows policy, accounting policy continuously. I hope all of you know what is policy. It's our policy to charge WDV depreciation 10%, SLM 5%. But you follow consistently, you don't jump from here to there. Okay? I hope all clear to all of you. Consistency. It says that you follow all the accounting policies consistently. They've given example, methods of depreciation and all what I said. Accounting policies should be changed only for 3 reasons. What they are saying is AS1, disclosure of accounting policy. Enterprise should change accounting policy only to bring the books of accounts in accordance with the issued accounting standards. So, you can't have conflict between the accounting standards and policy. So if some AS10, like, I hope all of you know that AS6 related to depreciation is not there now. It is merged into new AS10. Accounting for property, plant and equipment, PPE, including depreciation. So if AS10 says make changes in depreciation, you have to do to comply with the law provisions or better true and fair picture, under the changed circumstances, the new. So what are the 3 reasons wherein you can change the accounting policy? Required by accounting standard, required by law, company law, income tax, whatever, and for better presentation. If it is felt, no, instead of LIFO, let us go for FIFO, change it for once and tell to your shareholders that this year's profit is inflated by 3 lakhs because of change in method. अगर LIFO लेते तो 5 lakh था, but अब आप FIFO कर रहे हैं तो 8 lakhs. So there's a change in increase in closing stock, and that's what is having the impact in the profits also. Okay, right. So this is all about consistency. Is my speed fine? Are you all following? There's something very basic, ma'am. ये सब सुना हुआ है किया. I know it's a theory class today. कल जब हम कैपिटल रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर की प्रॉब्लम करेंगे तो यू विल एंजॉय, राइट? चलो, नेक्स्ट इज मटीरियलिटी. दिस इज लाइक सुपर्ब, मटीरियलिटी. अब ये these are concepts also and fundamental accounting assumptions also. Consistency, materiality, conservatism, or prudence, you can say prudence principle. Now, what is this materiality? Listen, I'll give you a nice example. You can note it down, the heading as materiality, and calculate. You all are in foundation. The very first class I said, use the same calculator which you are going to use in the final exam. Don't keep that calculator in the box saved for the final exam and regularly we'll use a different one. No, you have to get hands on it, comfortable. So now you purchased a nice branded original calculator for 500 rupees and you are using it for the last 4 years in your journey from foundation inter to final. Can you say, oh, anything used for more than 1 year, no, capitalize in the books. Dipti ma'am ne sikhaya hai. AS10. Any expenditure, the benefit of which goes beyond 1 year, capitalize. Dhyan se suno, very interesting. Why you are not capitalizing the cost of calculator? Materiality. What is the cost of the calculator? 500 rupees. So can you write it off in the printing and stationery expense? Answer is yes. I went to a Xerox and I took ₹50 Xerox of my business and 20 rupees I took printout of my son's question paper also. So though I paid 70 rupees to the Xerox wala, can I say 50 rupees will go in printing and stationery? 20 rupees will go in drawings, personal expense of the proprietor, 20 rupees ka personal kharcha hai. You're right, business entity concept I have only taught you. business is separate और ये personal है, सही है. But what is the amount? 70 rupees. So materiality concept says you can't just blindly apply the concepts, conventions and all. You need to have a check on it in the form of materiality. Transaction, ये तो ऐसे हो गए. Now 1/3 example. In fact, materiality को तो थोड़ा लिखना ही है, लिख ही लो. Some I have skipped in between, right? Making you write in notebook. Materiality तो लिख ही लो. Materiality. Rupees 500. Example 1. Calculator. Used for 5 years. Capitalize. करना है? No. Write off in P&L account. Write this example. The very next chapter also we are going to do this capital and revenue. Ma'am, but benefit is more than 1 year. Still. Second example. I'll give a nice example. Second one. Plant and machinery sold at a loss of rupees 200. Furniture sold at profit of rupees 300. Materiality says, no, these both are very important transactions. Materiality says, you can't nullify it. You can't say, ma'am, furniture में profit है ना, plant and machinery में loss है ना, चलो हम दोनों को adjust कर लेंगे and we will write 100 rupees in the P&L account. If I say 100 profit in the P&L account, answer is wrong. I hope you are getting. Materiality concept says materiality. Concept says what? Record it separately. ये दोनों जो transactions है ना, इनको separately record करना है. Loss on sale of plant and machinery, you put it on the debit side. Profit on sale of furniture, you put it on the credit side. Record it separately. That's what materiality concept says. Got it, all of you? All clear? Write down. If you need time, take time, likho. Any third example or any other thoughts in your mind, you can discuss. I gave you one more example, no? That Xerox expense. 30 rupees business. उसी bill में 20 rupees personal. You did Xerox of your son's question paper also. All rupees 50 printing and stationery expense. Why? Materiality. 20 rupees is not material gain, you write it separately. But ये plant and machinery and furniture. So materiality concept says, I'll give you the definition. इसकी definition अगर आप exam में लिखोगे ना, impressed answer and mark it, very important. इससे related true and false आते हैं. I'll discuss. बहुत अच्छे हैं. Finish writing this. Materiality concept says what? It says items which are relevant for users of financial statement. Items which are relevant for users of financial statement recorded separately. So those items which are relevant users, who are the users of the financial statement? Government, bankers, ye, wo. So record it separately. For example, if you have paid interest You can't just merge it in the miscellaneous expense. अरे थोड़ा सा ये ना मिला के लिख देते हैं. Interest is also debited, miscellaneous expenses. See, today's class is less of the theory and more of the examples. Broaden yourself, broaden. When we do final accounts, when we go to the next levels, it should be clear. So interest paid, and you can put it in miscellaneous expense. Because your bankers want to see what is your repaying capacity for interest. They will calculate debt service coverage ratio. So materiality के लिए ये examples अच्छे हैं. If you can write these words, it would be very nice. लिखो. Yeah, I'm here only. लिख लो. Items which are relevant for the decision. You can add the word for decision of users of financial statement. जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट के यूजर्स हैं उनके डिसीजन को अफेक्ट करता है अगर तो समझ लीजिएगा. चले आगे. राइट. So that's a materiality concept. See. The principle is exception. According to principle, all items having, see, exact word, all items having significant economic effect on the business should be disclosed in the financial statement. Suppose a cashier has run away with the cash, 1,000 rupees लेके cashier भाग गया. Ma'am, कुछ important नहीं है, we'll write off in the miscellaneous expense. No, it's a not good impression. No. Let the people know laws due to embezzlement. You write it separate. Materiality. So materiality principle, all items having significant economic effect on the business of enterprise should be disclosed in the financial statements. Any insignificant item which will increase the work or of the accountant and it's not relevant should not be disclosed. I told you now, 30 rupees Xerox, printing and stationery debit, 20 rupees Xerox, drawings, utna zarat nahi hai because it's not relevant. Materiality is a beautiful judgmental concept. You need to judge which transactions you need to record separately and which transactions you need to merge. That will come by practice for sure. Okay? Sure. See, materiality is a subjective term. It's a judgment, common sense. Yeah. For example, stationery purchase. कभी-कभी ना हम लोग जाके 4 साल की stationery लेके आ जाते हैं. अरे लाके रख लो, कौन जाएगा बार-बार? You can't say, मैम एक साल में 2 box stapler pins की use होते हैं. You'll get a dozen box and keep. Yes or no? You're not going to capitalize. That's it. Okay. So we have completed with all the concepts. Just have a look at the names at least. फिर से एक बार. Business entity concept. Money measurement transaction should only be recorded in books. Periodicity concept. 12 months transaction should be recorded. Periodicity concept. Next is accrual and matching. They go hand in hand. Going concern, superb. Cost and realization. Of course, it's true that assets should be recorded at historical cost. But if it is a permanent loss, we have to bring it at realizable. Dual aspect. For every debit, there is an equal credit accounting equation. Conservatism, prudence principle. Provide for all the losses. Don't anticipate gain. You can't print it in the annual report that we have got an order of 50 lakh pieces from so-and-so railways and hospital. Koi bade bhi order mile to, you can't write it. Next is consistency. Consistently, you need to follow material transactions. Now see, same thing is repeated. What are the fundamental accounting assumptions? Going concern, consistency, accrual. all the three fundamental accounting assumptions I've already discussed in detail. Okay, right? So that's all. Moving towards the last part of ये theory question कम से कम 4 से 5 बार आ चुका है. What are the qualitative characteristics of financial statements? Write it as a theory question and mark it very, very important. I'm also writing a separate book mein, so that we remember that we need to note down these theory questions. ये theory questions का एक list बना रही है. चलें आगे. Right? So, last part of the topic today. See, when I'm talking what should be the qualitative characteristics of the financial statement, I should know कि financial statement consists of what? Trading, P&L account, balance sheet, cash flow, ratios, notes on accounts, that is schedules. In balance sheet, I'm writing share capital 5 lakh. In schedule, we have detailed, authorized, issued, paid up, call in arrears, blah, blah. In balance sheet, we write data 80,000. In schedule, we have detail, good data and all. And compliance with the accounting standards is also given in the schedules, annexures, notes. So this all put together. Now, please, you all are preparing for a professional exam. So don't say कि financial statements means what? So financial statement means ma'am trading P&L balance sheet. No, it's nothing. If it is a company, it has to be supported by cash flow, fund flow, and it not fund flow, sorry, cash flow statement and some important ratios, GP ratio. You can't say, ma'am, net profit na 1,000 आया है. कैसा है? अच्छा है. Is it a good net profit 1,000? But when I say net profit by sales is 10,000 into 100, net profit by sales. Now, if I say this is 10%, yeah, 10% profit is a good margin in your business. I hope you are getting. So ratios is again a comparison which is all very much necessary. So let us see all this. अच्छा एक मुझे बताना है. Listen all of you. You may be saying, ma'am, so much we need to write in exam. No, please. If they ask you fundamental qualitative characteristics, the 5 which we have written in the box you write, but rest are just relevant. But first 5 only, and that too they are repeated. Already I've taught you in concept. Qualitative characteristics of the financial. See, if the financial statements are very good value-wise, then you know it will inform to users exactly what they are looking for. तो फिर users को भी पता चलेगा ना कि उनको क्या चाहिए, right? So qualitative characteristics are attributable to help the users. Okay. First one is understandability. Any corner of the globe, people are reading your annual report, your financial statements. They should be able to use the terms. That's why we have a fixed format. For banks, Banking Regulation Act has given format. Insurance Regulatory Development Act has given format. Companies Act has given format. Okay, this is the way you have to prepare the final accounts. So financial statements should be informative. They should be understandable. कोई confusion नहीं होना चाहिए. You have to write the current year's figures, previous year's figures, all everything with lot of clarity. Relevance. Only relevant and important information should be disclosed in the financial statement. The financial statement should contain relevant information which is likely to economic decision of the user. Such information may help the users to evaluate past, present, future, and all. Okay. So relevant information only should be disclosed. Reliable, such a beautiful word. There are n number of users who don't know anything what is going on inside company. The government, the bankers, the data, the creditors, the future investors, stakeholders, shareholders are owners. But day to day, they don't come in. Acha, production chal raha hai, accounting chal rahi hai. No, they don't know. So there are so many people who are relying on the financial statement prepared by the company and audited by a chartered accountant. So you have to give a reliable, proper, clear information in financial statement. Transactions and events should have faithful. That's why we check the proof कि अगर purchase इतना बता रहे तो bill है या नहीं, sale bill है या नहीं. If you're showing Bank of India balance is 10 lakhs, let us get a confirmation from Bank of India. है या नहीं उतना money. So transaction should be faithfully represented. Substance over form you need to take care. It should be free from any bias. You can't hide things, You can't just hide losses into miscellaneous expense. So that's what is reliability. Comparability. Your financial statement should be comparable with your own data for the previous year, with the industry and all. So comparison of financial statement is one of the most frequently used qualitative characteristics, right? The financial statement should permit both intra-firm and inter-firm. I've already used these words. Intra-firm and inter-firm comparison. One essential requirement of comparability is disclosure of the financial statements of change in accounting policy. So I told you when you are trying to compare your account, you have to show that this year's closing stock, instead of FIFO, you have followed LIFO, and that's why closing stock is inflated by 3 lakh, and that's why this. Done. True and fair view. Financial statement. See, no one is asking you to give true and correct. Correct word you cannot use. In spite of using all the accounting, auditing, law knowledge, things may go little. To err is human, Types of error we will study in rectification chapter. So true and fair view. It should give an overall correct picture. Your financial statement should be a reflection of your books of accounts. Got it? It should show a true and fair view of your performance, your financial position, your cash flows. आप जो भी बता रहे हैं ना P&L में expense, income, balance sheet में data, status, it should be fact. In my books, if my data says 8,000, in data's book, if you check, cross check and confirm, it will be 8,000. Obviously on the opposite side. If I have purchased a laptop for 80,000, I should have the bill. So it should show a true and fair view. Once again, I really want all of you to do it as homework. Go to your running notebook और वहाँ पे लिखो qualitative characteristics of financial statement. Easily understandable, only relevant information, reliable information, comparison के लिए clarity होनी चाहिए. It should be comparable. So you also present it every year in the same way and true and fair. So many times my students are making balance sheet, and first item comes cash. So you leave the space and write it here. Last item comes furniture. फिर भी ऊपर, because you know that things are to be parked. Presentation के लिए it's important कि fixed assets ऊपर आए, current assets will come down. Are my examples clear to all of you or not? Then next, qualitative characteristics are same. All material items should be presented. Please give it a reading once. I'm not asking you to mug up. Give it a reading so that you are able to write it. Faithful representation. Again, another name for, reliable data. Substance over form. So many times you have to go beyond the legal form. The best example for substance over form is hire purchase. Dipti ma'am has taught depreciation is to be charged by the owner. So you are the legal owner, but I have purchased on EMI from you. And I have purchased on EMI from you, and I'm going to repay the money over the installments 3 years. So I can't say till 3 years I have purchased this plant and machinery on EMI. So students, companies, the owner, they will charge the depreciation. No. Even though I am not the legal owner, but the day I purchased the machinery, I started using it, I'm using it for production, I am liable to charge depreciation. So many times you need to follow while preparing your financial statements, substance over form. Forget the legal form, see the substance over form. I can't tell you, dear students, 2 minutes wait karo aur suno meri baat. The same substance over form you will study in AS1. Same thing in final and income tax. I'm teaching, lifting of corporate veil and income tax also they say. See the picture beyond. Ma'am, bill hai na? So bill hai means you have purchased 11,000 stationery. Utna to people are not there in your organization. Just because you are having a bill, a legal form, you can't keep on putting fake expense and inflate your expense and show less profit to save tax. So substance over form is go beyond the legal form and check the technicality. Does this organization really need 11,000 ka stationery? Yeah. Neutrality. It should be free from all the bias. Same point is repeated. Prudence. Full, fair, and adequate disclosure. These, can you please, and completeness. Yes, it has to be for 12 months. Can you write, please, 1 to 5 points relevant for exam? Then you can say, ma'am, why am I giving you more points? They are like very nice points. You read the language, you will understand it. See, why we see now this point is saying full and adequate disclosure is already covered in true and fair view. Why we put so much of emphasis to footnotes and annexures? एक example बताती हूँ आपको, last one for footnote. Contingent liability. Where do you record contingent liability? Below the balance sheet. I hope all of you know what is contingent liability. There is a food poisoning case against the oil packets of our company. And my advocate is saying, if you lose, no, ma'am, you have to pay 50,000. But abhi tak, the case has not gone ahead. So I am not recording anything in my books, but I am recording it below the books in my balance sheet, contingent liability, which says that, how do I say? Yeah. Financial statements, contingent liability says that my users will be alert that in future, if we lose this case, we may incur an expense of 50,000. So contingent liability has got nothing to do with your balance sheet. Balance sheet will get tallied, but below the balance sheet, you write it in the annexures for full disclosure. So what are the qualitative characteristics of your financial statement? Understandability, relevance, reliable, comparable, and it should give a true and fair view. Okay. So that's all for your today's class for 10 fundamental accounting assumptions: business entity, materiality, prudence, historical cost, dual concept, and all. And then we have seen what are the qualitative characteristics of financial statement. Okay, right? So make sure you read it, you go through all this material. Any point, if you have any doubt, ask me. I think this much theory is enough. Next, actually coming to this, the very next chapter is terminology and accounting standards and IFRS. We will keep that at hold. Tomorrow we are doing a practical topic, capital and revenue expenditure. We need to solve problems and examine capital revenue expenditure 4 marks question. They'll give you 4 cases and you have to decide whether this is capital or revenue with reasoning. Please remember, in the foundation exam, you have true and false with reasoning. So you can't just like, ya to capital hoga, ya to revenue hoga, tukka. No, you need to do it thoroughly. Okay, right? Homeworks I have given you types of banks accounts and all. Today we are little late. So we started little late. So we'll make sure all of you join on time. We will start on time and we will discuss this again in tomorrow's class. Okay. Take all practical knowledge of the banking, RTGS, NIFT, UTR, types of bank account. That knowledge may not be very relevant for your books, but it is very, very important. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, all of you.